What's up, guys? It's Gage from ARG. We're talking about this thing. We're talking about the adjusted, forbidden, and limited list being in effect February 8th. Konami wants to call it an adjusted list, but essentially what it is take it as you will. It's an emergency ban list, and it's quite interesting because we've only had three of those in the entire, just since Yu-Gi-Oh has been established, we've only had three emergency ban lists. In I don't know. Konami wants to call it an adjusted list because it applies to only certain sanctioned events, but it applies to like every sanctioned event. If we read right here, which it's like Yu-Gi-Oh Championship Series, regional qualifiers, UDS qualifiers, and invitational events. So that's pretty much literally every event. And then it says OTS stores are free to use the adjusted list for their local events if they wish. The only thing that kind of leaves a gray area there is the OTS kind of, I think they're called championships or whatever. But that's where you get like a invite to nationals or something if you win it or something. They're like once every few months or something. There's one coming up in the end of February. So I guess that kind of just leaves the gray area there of whether that's a regional qualifier or an OTS event where they can pick. So I mean, if you really by all means want to play your broken deck at locals or something, and if your store allows it, go ahead. Or if you just want to play with your local scrubs at the library or something, go ahead. I mean, but this, call it what you will, it's an essentially emergency ban list, and it's quite interesting because we've had so many. This is just like it redefines the meta as we know it right now. Meta, as we can look at it, is pretty much Monarchs and it's PePe. Pretty much rolling in, and they kind of combat each other. A lot of people will say PePe is the most ridiculous deck, which it is. Essentially, Monarchs still struggle a lot against it at the moment, but with the new coming of this list, this coming into effect, the format's blown literally wide open. I say that most people say this all the time, that the format just kind of gets blown open and anything can happen really, but this is literally the time anything can happen, since we've had a deck that's been holding creativity back for so long that now we have so many things to just come up with potential. Let's take a look at it. I don't want to keep you guys in suspense any longer, but what we're looking at for the adjusted list, or the emergency ban list being put in effect February 8th, is we have Performer Mage, Plush Fire, Forbidden, Performer Mage Damage Juggler, Forbidden, Terror Knight Tomleos, Forbidden, Performer Pal, Skullcrap Joker, Limited, Performa Pal, Monkey Board, Limited, and Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer, Limited. So these are all really major hits to the Performer Pal and Friends deck. So we're looking at the entire Perform Mage engine just gone. Like literally, there's nothing left of it. With Plush Fire and Damage Juggler gone, there's no engine for it. Kind of have a leg to stand on. There's nothing for it. This is rather kind of upsetting because the engine has been around for only a very actually short time if we look at it in perspective, but it's impacted the game just so much, making cards like Brilliant Fusion actually really good just because it could dump a card like Damage Juggler or dump a card like Trick Clown. Just doing obscene things like that and being pretty much tied into almost every competitive deck up until that point. Necros played the engine for a while, and then we had Shadal's with the engine. We had the Perform Mage engine with it. It's just like, Perform Pal engine with it, excuse me. The engine of just Perform Mages has been around for not too long, but it's impacted the game so much to the point where kind of removing it, I guess, involves more creativity into the game, which I kind of am not against. I mean, I think the engine's really powerful, of course, and having it gone, there's a lot of room for more deck building options to be put to us, rather than just blank and Perform Mages with everything. So that's kind of cool, I guess. And then Terror Knight Ptolemaeus, essentially the banning of this means the kind of dashing away of Cyber Dragon Infinity being a relevant card in any rank 4 base deck, which, I mean, that's not, it's kind of scary because the card was just so powerful actually to the point where actually the forbidding of this makes it completely worthless. Like, I mean, you could play in a deck like Dynamis, which I guess people are going to try to do and everything, because again, Cyber Dragon Infinity is just a really powerful card. But outside of that, rank 4 decks now don't have the utility to go into this card just at all, which is pretty neat and everything. With Exciton Knight still banned and everything, and it limits the rank 4 pool a little bit even more. I guess we still have Rafflesia, which is a great card to kind of utilize in the rank 4 engine and everything. Maybe people start to use that more often as a kind of a replacement moving forward. And then, of course, we get the Giant Hand reprint and everything coming up in March. So, I mean, not all hope is lost. There's still more options to go into. Of course, we have Performa Pal Skullcrab Joker and Performa Pal Monkey Board, both limited. This is something, most of this, I kind of look at the OCG list, and it's kind of similar, like with Ptolemaeus, I keep saying Ptolemaeus, I don't know what I'm saying that. I normally say Ptolemaeus too. Ptolemaeus, Damage Juggler and Plush Fire Forbidden, that was all OCG list based. Like literally, it's the exact same Forbidden there. And then Skull Crobat Joker and Monkey Board came out of left field nowhere. Like Skull Crobat Joker being limited, I feel like it's it's a decent hit and everything because just the Perform a Pal deck out in the OCG is really succeeding still, even without the Perform Mage engines. So I guess this is kind of a hit to anticipate that and everything, which I kind of like that though, but it still does take away from the fact that we still have the Magicians at 3, like Insight Magician and everything, so it's just kind of taking away more of that there, and I feel like Skull Crobat Joker could have been semi-limited instead of limited. I feel like that was a bit much. But still, having it at limited was a good preemptive hit and something to try out too. Of course, it can always be changed in the future. It's been performed about Monkey Board. The card is really good. I like how it's literally a one card setup a scale, which is broken. But like limiting it, wow, I just didn't expect that. Like I could have thought of a whole bunch of other things to hit, and of course they hit them in this list. But Monkey Board would never be one that I really think would have gotten limited so quickly. So having a card just released be limited is rather interesting. That's the most recent card we've had released out of the entire ones that's been hit. And just the power level, I guess, kind of goes to show it's just nothing is safe. So Monkey Board being limited too, it's having it of 1 still kind of helps in everything for the fact that you can still search it out with your pendulum sorcerers and everything. You can still get to it. You can still be able to use that 1 and everything. It just makes it more susceptible to like Twin Twister and everything. If you get that 1 removed, you're kind of out of luck. You got to find different ways to set up scales. So I do quite like that, but I do like Monkey Board being at 1 too. I just further hits this deck even more. And then Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer limited. This one actually isn't too bad and everything. There wasn't really any great way to get to it besides Draco Face Off and everything. But now I guess now that it's limited and everything, people are going to start using Master Pendulum more. That's just the way I kind of see it. If you want to still play Draco Face Off, you can even just go with 1 copy of Vector, 1 copy of Master if you really, really want to feel fancy with that. But having the Luster Pendulum at 1 now, it's just a really powerful card, and I feel like it was anticipated since the very beginning of Pendulums kind of becoming really good. So overall, I feel like this was a little bit more damaging than that of the OCG list. Performer Pals in the OCG are still a really powerful deck. Over here in the TCG, it might be a little bit more difficult to kind of see that, as we have Monkey Board and Skull Crobat Joker still at 1 now currently. So it's kind of scary to see where that's going to take us moving forward into the next format. I do see a lot of decks coming up like Mermails, Burning Abyss, and a Dynamist, I guess, have some sort of a chance being able to make Cyber Dragon Infinity, everything. There's a lot of good options, and Monarchs, of course. We can't forget Monarchs. A lot of good options moving forward, and I'm really excited to see how this takes it. A lot of people aren't reacting to it so well, just being a big, massive change so early. And, I mean, we don't even have sign of an actual Forbidden Limited list coming out anytime soon. And I guess people want to consider this a Forbidden Limited list, which I guess you could. But since this is an emergency ban, I do see we'll have a Forbidden Limited list coming out later. Definitely before Nationals comes. We'll definitely have an actual list to work with. But this is just something to kind of look at. So it is what it is, and I guess something else important is we have a Perform a Pal Pendulum Sorcerer. The only thing changed is something that it just clarifies, I believe, is the term monsters was you would add equal to the monsters you would destroy. A lot of people were kind of confused when you would pop your Pendulum Zones if they were counted as monsters when they were brought to the extra deck, and they were, but not a lot of people could realize that by just reading the text of the card. So they changed monsters to cards. So now not only can you top your Pendulum Zones, but you can also pop back row and everything too, and add your Perform a Pal monsters to your hand that way. So it's just kind of clarification at that point, and also adding the addition of back row and everything to that list you can add things with. So is that relevant? I don't know. I mean, it's just, I guess people are still going to be popping their scales, so that just seems like the way to go. Maybe that's just me, but that's not as important. The main thing, the main bulk of this video was the ridiculous kind of limiting list we had here, and it's going to change the game around. I'm quite excited for it. A lot of people aren't too happy with it, but I myself am really excited for it. So let me know what you guys think of it. As for events moving forward, this is after YCS Atlanta. It takes place literally the Monday after. It takes place February 8th. And then as for Circuit Series events, we are having the state championships be held in the older format, so you can still play your full power PePe list with that, and then you can end up selling after that event if you want. And then all Circuit Series following that will follow this adjusted list. So take it with what you will, guys, but I'm pretty happy with the emergency ban. But let me know what you guys think of it. Did you lose a lot of money? If you did, you're probably salty. But for everybody else here, I think this is a good change. Much needed. But let me know what you guys think. And if you guys want to buy or sell product, if you want to 10 events, and if you want to read articles from the top players, alteratagames.com is a place to go check out. Be sure to like our Facebook fan page and subscribe to our Twitch stream if you haven't already. But as always, I thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Gage from ARG, signing out.